Now look, I know this video is a little bit late, and I know that some of you guys really don't like when I talk about something that isn't Pokemon related in the intro, but by the time this video goes out, me and Sophie are going to be engaged. Fucking hell. If she says no, this is going to be well embarrassing. We start today's episode with our hero still walking across the vast desert in Mandarin Island, with Misty getting frustrated at Ash for wanting to stop and eat. Bearing in mind in just the previous episode, she was whinging along with Ash about wanting to stop and rest. So really, Misty only cares about her friend's well-being and needs when they line up exactly with her well-being and needs. Jesus, Misty's such a selfish coincidentally, which is definitely the word I was about to use, as the narrator points out, they've actually already arrived at the city of Trovitopolis. Although I would argue the city still looks like it's quite a trek away from where they're currently stood, so I reckon they've still got a fair bit of walking to do. Also, by the way, if I look absolutely haggard and I'm sniffling a little bit, my voice is a bit gone, it's because we went to MCM Comic Con London last week and I've got con flu. Because of course I have, because I can't go to London without getting fucking ill. But also, it was great to see a bunch of you in person, and whoever got me ill, fuck you. On with the video, it's fine. When talking about his new high-tech hole, phrasing, Meowth uses the word prepare, which sets Jessie and James off reciting their motto. Meowth cuts them off partway through, asking why they'd want to give Ash and friends fair warning. Listen, Meowth mate, if you start pulling on threads like that, the entire format of this show is going to unravel. Kinda like when people comment on WTF Moments like,
wow, you take this far too seriously.
That's literally the point. You've missed the entire point of the series. Bless you. James hits the detonator to trigger an explosion under the ground where Ash and friends are walking, but before that happens, the ground also opens up beneath the feet of Team Rocket. This makes no sense whatsoever, because either Meowth plants explosives below where Ash and friends are going to be, but also plants them below the place where Team Rocket intend to hide for no reason at all, or this is just supposed to be some kind of aftershock after the initial explosion, but one that happens before the initial explosion. I guess the ground where Team Rocket were hiding was just weak in general, or was like some kind of mini sinkhole or something? Is that what we're supposed to think? Answers on a postcard. Mate, Tracey fell onto and got covered in enough rocks and rubble to cause him to be stuck, and Ash and Misty just immediately try and yank him out by his legs without even checking to see if any part of his body's been like properly crushed by the rubble. Apparently, in a world where people go traveling from as young as 10 years old, nobody gets any first aid training. Pokemon, sort your world out. Notice where everybody lands after Tracey's freed. Misty lands off to one side, Ash lands off to the other, and Tracey flies a little bit further away from the rocks than Ash and Misty. So why in the next shot is Tracey sat on Ash's back? Did Tracey really get up from being trapped and think, you know what, I don't think Ash will mind if I rest by literally sitting on him? Tracey mate, I get that you're a bit sore right now, but you're properly taking liberties here mate. After following a tunnel that leads them into the Trovitopolis sewer system, the gang try and look for a manhole cover to climb out of. All of a sudden they encounter a giant sentient vine, and Misty freaks out, calling it a giant monster. Bit dramatic, don't you think? I'm just saying, that's quite a strong reaction to what essentially looks like a giant sprig of asparagus. Misty hates eating her veggies. Confirmed. Misty warns Ash not to have Pikachu use any electric attacks, because if it uses one in the sewer, they'll all get shocked too. Firstly, no you won't. Unless you guys have jumped in the water and back out again without any of us noticing, I'm pretty sure you and the surface you're standing on will be pretty much dry. You'll be fine. And secondly, even if it does shock you, have you seen the amount of times Ash has been shocked by Pikachu and survived? You'll be fine. Ash sends out his Bulbasaur, who immediately gets grabbed by the vine and dragged under the water. Oh no, Ash's Bulbasaur being useless as shit? What a surprise. If you're not useless as shit, hit the like button, share this video on social media, and leave a lovely comment down below. If you can't think of a comment to post something generic like
a giant sentient vine? Well, anything's a dildo if you're brave enough.
Or, you know, just comment the name of the secret Pokemon I've hidden somewhere in the video. And if you're new here, thanks for giving the channel a chance. Now, how about hitting the subscribe button? Because apparently 47% of you aren't subscribed even though you're loving this content. So subscribe, turn on all notifications, you'll never miss an episode, even when they're late. We're currently at 1.73 million subscribers, and if you subscribe right now, maybe YouTube will finally add that extra 0. Do new people to the channel still get mad when I say that? I don't care. An Officer Jenny overhears the commotion from up on street level and opens up a manhole cover to check things out. She lowers down a rope for Ash and friends to climb out with, but Ash refuses to leave without his Bulbasaur. This leads to Misty and Tracey tying him up so they can drag him out the sewers. But Christ, how much rope did she send down? Have you seen how much is wrapped around Ash? Did Jenny just massively misjudge how deep the sewer was or something? After locking them in jail for a short while, Jenny bursts through the door to let Ash and friends know they're free to go, twatting Ash with the door in the process. Turns out even the Pokemon world has police brutality. Confirmed. The mayor of Trovitopolis turns up trying to convince Jenny not to release Ash and friends. It's then revealed that they aren't the only people who have sighted the creature. And so we get shown flashbacks of the random vine stealing food like a pizza and stuff. I tell you what, it's not like a vegetable to have such good taste. Come on. That was brilliant. Shut the fuck up. This guy gets his hot dog stolen right out of his hand, but is so hungry he doesn't even notice his hand gets suddenly lighter and ends up biting into his own fist. Honestly, I think we can all relate to being that hungry at least once. I know I can. Nurse Joy storms into the mayor's office to give him a grilling about his plan to send a SWAT team into the sewer to destroy the creature. Hang on. Moments ago, the mayor was saying there is no way to capture the creature because there's like 500 miles of sewers below the city and like 5,000 manholes. And if that's the case, then how does sending a SWAT team to try and kill the creature avoid the same issues? He was basically saying they can't catch it because they'd never be able to find it, but in order to kill it, don't you need to find it too? Use your noodle. Direct quote from Professor Oak.
Tracey's right. This new creature could very well be a new species of Pokemon. Or it may be a Pokemon that's undergone some kind of strange mutation.
Oi, hang on, mate. Spoiler alert. If Oak hadn't said that, I wouldn't be expecting a mutated version of an existing Pokemon. But now I'm definitely expecting that. Professor Oak is a plot-spoiling prick. Pass it on. Question, when the mayor had a statue of himself built with colours that match his real-life image, why did he have them paint the shoes red when he usually wears brown shoes? Did they run out of paint? We see the mayor giving a final prep talk to his SWAT team before they head into the sewers, and as Ash and friends watch on from nearby, we get this direct quote from Misty.
How are we gonna get in with them covering the entrance?
Misty, mate, weren't you paying attention? There's like 4,999 other manholes you could enter the sewers through. Try and keep up. Not really a WTF moment, but Zapdos being the Who's That Pokemon really made me want the creature in the sewers to turn out to be a legendary Pokemon. Spoiler alert, it ain't. Oh look, Nurse Joy found an alternative entry point into the sewers. Almost like all that whining from Misty was for nothing. What a surprise! Speaking of surprises, surprise! Code ACE has been boosted to 30% off G Fuel for this weekend! That's right, if you use Code ACE between now and the end of Monday the 1st of November, you will get 30% off your G Fuel order rather than the usual 10%. Today I am drinking a brand new flavour called Brain Matter. It's one of the Halloween flavours, and surprisingly, it's like apple-y. I think it's apple and watermelon, I'm not sure. It's supposed to be crushed tart candy, whatever that means, but tastes very apple-y, very lovely, very tasty. Oh, I am going to be drinking a lot of that this month. That is really, really bloody nice. Use code ACE, get 30% off this weekend. Don't be stupid. While 30%'s off, go get a bargain, mate. Get yourself a starter pack if you're new to G Fuel. Comes with one of these shakers and a whole bunch of flavors. In fact, the starter packs at the moment have a banging selection of flavors in them. And remember, every time you use code ACE, that's our code. That helps this channel out massively and helps me keep bringing you Pokemon WTF moments every week. So cheers. Of course, G Fuel is for over 18s only. Don't give it to children. Children don't need caffeine. And of course, because it contains caffeine, just drink it responsibly. Don't be a dickhead. Team Rocket gets spooked by the sudden appearance of Ash and friends in the sewers, and James gets Weezing to use smokescreen so they can run away. Tracey then points out that he thinks he just heard Team Rocket. Mate, how stupid are these three? Was hearing a familiar male voice sending out a Weezing of all Pokemon and yelling smokescreen attack now not a dead giveaway? I swear sometimes I think Ash and friends shouldn't be allowed outside unsupervised. The sprig of asparagus turns up and grabs Togepi, but Misty has such a tight hold on Togepi that she gets dragged under the water as well. Apparently Misty is hench. Pass it on. Ash reveals that he had the professor send over his Muck since he knew they'd be going back into the sewers. But before they can start actually looking for Misty, Muck of course has to take a moment to launch himself at Ash and have a little grind on him. Ash's Muck is just a bit molesty. Pass it on. Team Rocket decide to give up on being scared and to be the ones doing the scaring. So whilst James and Meowth try their best to look what I think is supposed to be like a Charizard with a Slowbro Shelder on its head, Jessie foreshadows one of her future Pokemon, Gourgeist. Gen 1 Gourgeist. Confirmed.
Well, actually, Liam, I doubt this is a reference to Gore, guys, since that Pokemon wasn't created until Generation 6.
Wow. You must be really fun at parties. They run right into the path of the mayor's SWAT team, who on the mayor's orders start firing their putty guns at them. So their master plan to eliminate the monster was to cover it in sticky putty? I guess to render it immobile? Wouldn't that mean you can catch it instead of killing it? So does this mean that earlier when the mayor said the monster couldn't be caught, he was talking bollocks? A lying politician? Who'd have thought? After Muck leads Ash and Tracey to what appears to be a dead end, and let's just ignore the fact that we've had absolutely no explanation as to why Muck is able to track this monster, Ash and Tracey realize that the tunnel continues below the water level, so they jump into the water to swim through. But Ash doesn't return Muck to its Pokeball, it just gets left behind. Mate, after all its help, you're just gonna ditch Muck? That's not very protagonisty. After the SWAT team report back to the mayor, thinking Team Rocket were a group of monsters, the mayor orders all entrances to the sewers to be sealed shut. Does this guy not realize how terrible that would be for the city? Some of those sewer entrances will undoubtedly be exits, so all the waste coming in from people's sinks and baths and toilets will have nowhere to go and will just build up. That would be super bad for people's health, especially when it all fills up and sewage starts seeping out into people's homes. I'm just saying, for someone who's desperate to be re-elected, this decision could ruin him. Oh, it turns out Muck did come with them. I wonder when it realized it should probably follow Ash and Tracey. Maybe it just got sick of waiting. Mate, on a side note, I'd love to see how Muck swims. Do you think he stays pretty compact, or do you think he spreads out like a big cloud of diarrhea? So it turns out the monster was just a Bulbasaur that turns out to be double the normal size for its species. Hang on though, if it's only twice as big as the average Bulbasaur, then why did its vines earlier look so gigantic, like some kind of gargantuan sewer serpent? I guess this Bulbasaur's a grower, not a shower. Ash notices that this Bulbasaur has the mayor's emblem on the bell on its collar, which looks weird because earlier the mayor's emblem looked like this. Not like Pokemon to be inconsistent with the animation, is it? Nurse Joy becomes increasingly frustrated with the mayor's plan to seal off the sewers, worrying that Ash and friends will be trapped inside there for over a week if the mayor has his way. Oh no, if only you knew some kind of law enforcement officer that we'd already seen in this episode, like Officer Jenny.
Well, actually, Liam, if the police have to answer to the mayor, then there's probably nothing Officer Jenny can do.
Of course there is. She can do what we all do when an authority figure's being a dick. She can speak to his superior. Sure, he's the mayor, but he must answer to someone. The mayor is, for some reason, surprised to find his home flooding after the sewers overflow into his bathroom, sending him kayaking down the holes in his ceramic tub. Mate, why are you even shocked? You sealed up the entire sewer system. Right now, you're lucky you're not surrounded by rogue turds. Hey look, it's Surfing Pikachu. He's doing the surfing, like what he can do in the game, where he does the surfing. Very surfing, Pokemon, very surfing. Listen, as much as I don't want to see the way this guy's flabby gut completely envelops his cock and balls, I do have to ask, where the hell did he get that towel from? Was he wearing it in the bath? That is really weird. Do people wear towels while they're sat in the bath? That's weird. After the mayor recognizes his emblem on the big Bulbasaur's bell, oh, that's beautiful alliteration, that is. Oh. We get a flashback of the mayor as a kid putting the Bulbasaur into a box and letting it float into the sewers. Okay, so one, why did the mayor have his logo planned out when he was like 7 years old? Seems a bit early to start your campaign marketing. And two, you're telling me this messed up Sid from Toy Story wannabe came home that day without his Pokemon and his parents didn't bat an eyelid? So many mistakes have been made on so many levels here. Listen, Bulbasaur, I know you somehow still miss this guy and are somehow still happy to see him, but lifting him into the air when he's only wearing a towel so the crowd behind him can definitely see his arse, bollocks, and knob really isn't going to bring him any closer to liking you, is it? If you learn only one life lesson from this series, let it be this. Exposing your mate's genitals to a crowd of people against his will not help you two become better mates. The SWAT team turns up to help the mayor and get ready to fire their putty guns at the Bulbasaur. Now, I know they need to make sure the Bulbasaur doesn't harm the mayor, but if they incapacitate it, won't it just drop the mayor? And the mayor's like 12 feet in the air right now. I don't know about you, but I'd hate to be dropped onto concrete from 12 feet in the air, especially nude. Ash gets Pikachu to use Thunderbolt on the SWAT team. Mate, I know you have the best of intentions here, but what you've done right there is a crime. Like an actual crime. You just attacked law enforcement when they were just trying to do their jobs. That's not very protagonistic. Sophie. After Ash's Bulbasaur uses Vine Whip to batter away the SWAT team, because of course who's going to arrest them if there's nobody there to arrest them, the big Bulbasaur throws the mayor into the sky, and when he finally comes back down and crashes into his own statue, he has a beard for no reason. Christ, how long was he in the air for? Later on, Nurse Joy says she'll gladly take care of the big Bulbasaur at the Pokemon Center. Ash, mate, why didn't you offer to take it? It's a massive Bulbasaur. I'll bet that's better in battle than the one you've got. Come on, lad, Dupe's Claws can't apply here, surely. Joy points out Trovita Island to Ash and says it'll only take a few minutes to get there. Officer Jenny then mentions there's a ferry that goes there once a day. So what you're saying there is, if they miss the ferry, it'll take them more than just a few minutes to get to Trovita Island, because they'll have to wait until the next day's ferry. Might as well just use Lapras then. Thanks for nothing, Joy. So those are my WTF moments of Pokemon Season 2, Episode 22, The Mystery Menace. Let me know your favourites and any that I missed down in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Head to twitch.tv/AceTrainLiam for all of my live streams. Use code ACE for 30% off G Fuel this weekend, and head to my Twitter and my Instagram to congratulate me on my engagement. Until next time, I'm AceTrainLiam. Keep on training.